Welcome back, everybody. So today I'm actually going to do some adjusting to my front airbags on my C4. So a couple months ago I had an airline blow, which really kind of sucked, and now I've been like extra paranoid when I'm out driving it. So I did an inspection like, a couple weeks later with a video about, going over all the little areas, and there's one area that's been kind of like bothering me a little bit. The front airbags are like pretty close to the lower control arm when they're like fully inflated. So I'm just going to try to adjust those outwards a little bit. There's no wear on them now because they're kind of going up and down with the control arm, not rubbing against it at all. But it's one of those things where in the back of my head, I'm like, if I can just move them over, get a little bit of clearance there, I'll just feel so much more confident driving, because it just wasn't fun when, you just lose air pressure in one corner and the thing drops down and you're stuck in traffic. So I'm always trying to eliminate that. So I'm gonna work on that today, just trying to space them out a little bit and give me some more clearance. All right, you can see here that it's coming really close to that bracket in the control arm there. So my main goal here is to actually try to move that inwards towards the engine just to give me a little bit more clearance there. And you can see on this side, it's a decent amount, but towards the front, when it's inflated, it needs to be pushed back. All right, so this is the passenger side here. As you can see, it's pretty close there and needs to be pushed inward towards the engine too. It's pretty much centered in the control arm when it's inflated, but we're going to move that back a little bit too. So now I'm just going to let the air out of the front so I can move them around. Alright, so this is the bottom bolt here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this. I'm just going to circle this so I have a reference of where this goes once I unbolt it and try to move it around a little bit. So I'm going to loosen the top bolts too, and then try to get this thing over this way a little bit towards the back of the car. Alright, so I have everything loose, and I originally had oblonged this when I was first doing this just to get some adjustment out of the airbag. So what I'm doing is I have it already over, and I made this little stop out of stainless steel, a little piece like that I'm going to put up in here. So when I tighten it down, for some reason that it won't walk back to where it was originally. So I'm going to put this in here, tighten this up, and then test it. Alright, so I was unable to get the clearance I needed by coming down this way, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to slide the air spring backwards here. So my plan for right now is I'm just going to drill a hole in the back here, right off of this. And that should give me enough clearance in the front, because when this thing's aired up, it's definitely touching the one part in the front here. So if I can slide this thing backwards, then it'll give me the clearance I need, and I don't have to worry about it slowly wearing through time. So I'm going to try to drill this out on the car. I'm going to push the airbag up, and then I'm going to try to just do a pilot hole and just drill right up here and see if we can get the clearance from there. And then eventually when I take these back off, I'll metal fill this and just kind of clean it up a little bit nicer. All right, so I have this moved back now, and you can see up in here, There's a good gap there. And then all the way around here and there, that's where it was touching before. I have it about 20 pounds more than I normally have at ride height, and it's still not touching. So that worked out pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and move to the other side. Okay, so now I'm gonna mark this side for reference. Take this out. So this one actually has to go straight back. So my plan is to either oblong this a little bit, and that should just give me enough play to make the clearance that I need. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark this and then drill this out a little bit. Okay, so I got that moved back now. And then I got all this extra clearance in here now, which is nice. So that's it for today's video. So I feel a lot better now that they're away from the control arm, so there's not gonna be any rubbing or wear through holes or anything like that. So if you enjoyed the video, press like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.